All right, we're right back. I welcome you all back once again. So let's continue on our today's topic, which is self-discovery. On my last, on the last one we just finished, ended at number 6. So we are going to number 7, which is know your value. Ladies, know your value. As a lady, we need to know our value. We need to know what we want and what we don't want. As a lady, we need to know our value. When you don't know your value, people are going to ridicule you and take you for a ride. But when you know your value as a woman, then you will not allow anyone to bring you down, to bring your self-esteem down, or to ridicule you in any way. It is very important that each and every one of us should be able to know our value and be able to stand and say no when things are going wrong in our lives. When you give yourself out in a very cheap way, like as if you are, you are desperate, you are degrading your value. When you walk up to a man and start saying things like, I want you in my life, I need you in my life, I want you to be my husband, I want you to be my boyfriend, you are degrading your value. You are bringing yourself down so low, because you know what it's going to do for you? When you approach a man to ask for that thing or for those things which God has already created a man to do, but you as a lady, you are now doing the opposite by doing what a man's supposed to do. The problem you are going to face is when you are the one who attracted that man into your life, like you went for that man, and you eventually managed to get him into your life. How are you going to keep him? How are you going to make him to stay with you forever without thinking how desperate you are, without seeing you like, like nothing? How are you going to do that? Already God has designed that for a man to do, because when a man approaches a woman to say the things like, I love you, I need you, I want you in my life, the man is already a man. He is the one that needs to do that, because when he gets that lady, he will, if he's a good one, he will protect and provide for that woman till the end of time, because it is his duty to protect and to provide that woman with every of his needs. And he's not going to feel otherwise, like feeling, why am I even doing this? I'm not supposed to be doing this. No, like I'm talking about good men here. But come to think of it, as a lady, and you're coming out to tell me it's a civilized world. I mean, there is nothing in it, and you went after a man to prophesy your love and everything, and at the end of the day, you managed to get that man. How are you going to keep that man? Are you ready as a lady to take care of that man, in the sense that providing maybe his money? Like, definitely men like that, when you reduce yourself as a lady that cheap, it's possible you will get a man who doesn't even feel like walking, because he has already sees you that you are ready to provide all his needs. How do you expect him to walk? You'll be giving him his, for example, his monthly salary. I don't even want to call it house upkeeps, because even as that woman, you are still going to be doing the house upkeeps. You will give him his money. You will provide all his needs emotionally and physically. You will keep doing all that, and he's expecting you to protect him as well. Now you find yourself acting like a man when you're actually a woman. But because you are not a man, for the fact you are a woman, there shall come a time you will get yourself exhausted. You will be tired. You wear yourself out. You'll be worn out. You'll be drained, because that womanhood in you is crying, yelling for love, yelling for protection, yelling for provision, yelling someone to cuddle and nurture her. But unfortunately, you have already made yourself a subject of ridicule by being the one acting like a man, providing for that man, protecting, nurturing, and doing all sorts of things. And in the end, you know what? He will eventually leave you, because the whole thing is like you forcefully put yourself in that position by using only that which you can offer some men, majority of men, and they are not willing to say no. You've already used that to lure him into your life, and you think you've captured him. What am I talking about? I'm talking about sex. When you use sex to lure a man into your life, majority of men will never say no to that. They won't turn you down. They will have it with you in quantum. And if you manage to eventually hook that one into your life with that sex, thinking that you've gotten him, my dear, you've not. He will only come into your life, degrade your value, because you yourself, you've already degraded your value. Then he will use you in every possible means. He will take your money. He will take everything that belongs to you. He will keep taking and taking and taking without giving. Meanwhile, in actual sense, relationship or marriage is supposed to be give and take. But in this case, because you've already brought your value down, he will only be there a number of for how long he's ready to be with you, for his selfish desires, for the things he will get from you. He's ready to be cooking up lies, telling you how much he loves you, all to be getting things from you. And when he's done, he will leave your life. He will move far, far away like you never existed. So please, as a lady watching me at the moment, stop degrading your value. You have that value. Raise that value so high. Respect yourself enough to actually know your value. Don't degrade it, because you want more than that. So let's go to number 8. Number 8 is allow them to go without destroying your life. When you have such men into your life, allow them to go without destroying your life. We have to try and stop hoarding. You know what I mean? Stop hoarding. When you have something in your life, even if you love that person so well, even if that person loves you so much that you've already seen that this person actually means well for you. Maybe he provides you your needs, he protects, he nurtures, he loves you so deeply, even at that. But eventually, he decided to leave. Like he decided to move away from you completely. Allow them to go. When you check yourself properly and you know the fault is not from you, allow them to go without destroying your life. When you allow such people, or when you allow people to leave when they want to leave your life without letting them destroy your life, you are doing yourself a lot of good, because in no distant time you will heal. But when you go after them like begging, pleading, crying, calling on the phone 1 billion times, texting and texting and texting them, demanding to know what is that thing you did wrong to them, sometimes they will turn around to tell you, I'm sorry, you did nothing wrong, but I'm done. But instead of you letting them to go, you choose to destroy your life by going after them. If you know you're a lady and you're fond of running after a man, texting him, asking for apologies of things you didn't even do, crying on the phone, calling 1 billion times, chasing them, stalking them, unfortunately for you, he will start looking at you like a mentally deranged woman. He will start looking at you like you are nothing but a cheap whore. He will not, in fact, he will be happy he left. Because you are giving him this attitude and this style of I am desperate, and if I don't have you in my life is over. At the end of the day, you, the woman, will destroy your life. But when you let a man go, you've already searched your heart. You know that no fault is coming from you. You know that your hands are clean. You know that you did nothing wrong to them, and they still choose to go. Let them go. Do not allow the whole thing to destroy you by going after them. Because when you let them go, they will go out there. Yes, they will see other women. They will even go after them. But they will now compare those ones they went to and you they left behind out of stupidity of a man or out of insatiable needs of a man. In the end, they will find out that you are truly that which they desire for their life. Sometimes that particular person will run back to you, and when they run back to you, they're ready to kneel down, they're ready to cry, they're ready to plead for your forgiveness. Then as a woman, if you feel they can complete you as a woman, and if you know that that particular man is a nice man, is a kind man, God-fearing, in fact, everything you need in a man, you can choose to forgive and accept him back. When you do that, he will respect you till the last day. He will never mess around, knowing fully well that you are not that type of woman who is desperate, because you know your value as a woman. Sometimes if you feel he is not that kind of man that will complete your life, like you feel there are traces in him that can destroy your life, and they run back to you to plead on them, you can shut your door forever and just move on diligently. Just move on. So what are we trying to say here? All we are trying to say is love yourself enough, know your value enough. Allow them to go without destroying your life. That is for number 7, if I'm correct. Let's go to number 8. And our number 8 says, mold yourself before they mold you. And this particular one, we are talking about you molding yourself first before they mold you. Now, this applies to everybody. This applies to your friends, to your partner, to your lover, to your husband, whoever you meet as you move every day of your life. Mold yourself before they mold you. When you fail to mold yourself as a person, you give society that room, that chance to mold you into who you are not, into what you are not, which will eventually destroy you. Be able to know God, be able to trust on God, be able to find yourself spiritually, inwardly and outwardly, and be able to mold yourself into that which God wants you to be. Do not allow anybody to mold you. If you fail to mold yourself, people are going to mold you. You can have friends, and maybe the type of friends you have are those type that does a particular thing which doesn't suit you. If you fail to mold yourself before moving out with such friends, when you join them in their midst, they will mold you. They will mold you into that which they believe is right for you, sometimes negatively. And in the end, it's going to destroy you, because that is not what you want for yourself. So discovering who you are is part of molding yourself, and allow God to mold you. When that happens, you can go into the world and live your life. You will meet all sorts of people. You will meet different types of friends. You will meet people that will come to you, people that loves you, people that actually wants to be with you. They will try to mold you. But when they try, they will fail, because you've already molded yourself before every other person. This always happens to husband and wife. As a lady, you need to know yourself, mold yourself before you move into marriage. Because you know what? All right, let's give an example here. This always applies to these older men going after younger ladies for marriage. What I mean by these older men, I mean like a man of 50 years of age going after a woman of 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 years of age for marriage. It always applies to them. What do you think will happen when such man approach a lady of 20 years and proposes for a marriage? What do you think will happen? If care is not taken, that older man will mold that younger lady into what he wants, into what will suit him. Did you see that? So, what do you think will happen? That older man will mold that younger lady how he wants her to be. He will change every aspect of her life. He will change how she reasons. He will completely turn her around and mold her into that which suits him. He may not even care how she feels. So if you're that type who doesn't mind marrying that kind of man with that age gap, be sure to mold yourself before venturing into the world by knowing God's words for you, by knowing what God actually wants your life to look like or wants your life to be. By learning so many things, try to discover yourself irrespective of your age. You are not created to be scared and to have the spirit of fear in you. You are created to be fearless. By having your value, knowing who you are, respecting people, but at the same time fearless. So that's what I mean by mold yourself before they mold you. The same goes with friends. Like I said earlier on, you need to discover who you are, mold yourself into what God wants you to be. Then when you go out with friends, they will find it difficult to try to mold you because you will not give in, you will not let that door open. And if they choose to live your life because they feel they cannot influence you negatively, then let them go. Let them go. Okay? So learn how to mold yourself for you not to allow them to mold you, because sometimes it is disastrous. That is not what you want, because society will never mold you into something great. Society will always mold you into negative things that believe that is right for you, in the end destroying you. So do not allow that to happen to yourself. Let's go to the last one we'll talk about here. Develop yourself and your value. Ladies, develop yourself and your value. As you proceed in this life journey, develop yourself, develop your value. If it warrants you to take a time for yourself and just to be by yourself without into any relationship, it's worth it. Be by yourself, develop who you are, develop your value before looking out again, to see if you can be in a relationship again. Because there is one thing about relationship: when you're already in a relationship, you don't have the time to develop yourself or your value anymore. The only time you keep having is that time to please your partner, to please your man, to do whatever he wants you to do, or to do whatever that pleases him. In the end, displeasing yourself. Relationships supposed to be two equal rights, supposed to be give and take, supposed to be love and not lust. Because there's a big gap between love and lust. They are two different things altogether. One can be lusting you but doesn't love you, and one can love you. But how do you know all these things? By developing your self-worth, develop your value before venturing into a relationship. Because when you do all this and someone approaches you for a relationship, when they are there speaking to you, you can read them, you can read the energy. You will know if they are there for lust or for love. You will know all these things. Like I said, love is satisfying, but lust is never satisfying. Never. When you come in contact with someone who wants you, you will know from day one. You will know if this is actually love or lust. If you feel you will not be able to know, that is when I will tell you to ask God to give you the spirit of discernment. When you have it in you, you will be able to detect that which is wrong and which is right. Some relationships from beginning tells it all. You don't even need a soothsayer to tell you. It tells, it shows itself. It brings itself out for you to see in an open space. Like I said, it shows itself from the beginning. So I'm going to stop here because I believe we've learned enough for today. And if you enjoy this topic, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more on tips like this. And I promise you all, I'm going to bring this same topic, because we haven't even finished it. I'm going to bring it next time. But until then, it is bye from me to you.